Yoginam sarvesham
Yoginam sarvesham
madgatir nantaratmana
Madgatenantaratmana
Shraddhavan bhajate yo mam
Shraddhavan bhajate yomam
Tame yuktatamo mataha
Same yuktatamo mataha
Yoginamapi sarvesam
Yoginamapi sarvesham
Madgaten anantar atmana
Madgatenantaratmana
Shraddhavan bhajante yo mam
Shraddhavan bhajate yomam
Tame yuktatamo mataha.
Same yuktatamo mataha
Anyone want to recite?
Yoginamapi sarvesham
Yoginamapi sarvesham
Madgatenantaratmana
Madgatantar Atmana
Shraddhavan bhajate yomam
Shraddhavan bhajate yomam
Same yuktatamo mataha
Same yukta tamo mataha Yoginamapi sarvesham
Yoginamapi sarvesham
Madgatantar Atmana
Madgatenantaratmana
Shraddhavan bhajate yomam
Shraddhavan bhajate yomam
Shame yukta tamo mataha
Same yuktatamo mataha
योगिनामपि सर्वेषां
Yoginamapi
Yoginamapi sarvesham
sarvesham
मत्कतेनान्तरात्मना
Madgatantar
Madgatenantaratmana
Atmana
श्रद्धावान् भजते यो माम्
Shraddhavan
Shraddhavan
bhajate
bhajate yomam
yomam
स मे युक्ततमो मतः
Same
Same yukta
yuktatamo
tamo
mataha
mataha.
So, word by word translation. Yoginam of yogis,
Yoginam of
Yoginam of
yogis.
yogis
api also,
Api
Api
also
also.
sarvesham all types of,
Sarvesham
Sarvesham
all
all types
types
of
of.
madgaten abiding in me, always thinking of me,
Madgatena
Madgatena
abiding
abiding
in
in
me,
me,
always
always
thinking of
thinking
me.
of me.
antah atmana within himself,
Anta
Anta
Atmana
Atmana
within
within
himself.
himself.
Shraddhavan in full faith,
Shraddhavan in
Shraddhavan
full
in full
faith.
faith.
bhajate renders transcendental loving service.
Bhajate
Bhajate renders
renders
transcendental
transcendental
loving
loving
service.
service.
Yah, one who,
Yaha,
Yaha,
one
one
who,
who.
mam, to me,
Mam to me,
the
the
Supreme,
Supreme Lord.
Sah, he,
Sa,
Sa he,
me, by me,
me
me
by
by
me.
me.
yukta tamaha, the greatest yogi,
Yukta
Yukta
Tamaha, the
Tamaha, the
greatest
greatest
yogi.
yogi.
matah is considered.
Mataha
Mataha
is
is
considered.
considered.
Translation and purport given by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And of all yogis, the one with great faith who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself and renders transcendental loving service to me. He is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion. So I should recite one more time. And of all yogis, the one with great faith who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself and renders transcendental loving service to me. He is the topmost, ultimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion. So Lord Krishna, he is giving his opinion about the who is the topmost yogi. That is very important. Who is the topmost yogi? And then purport Sri Prabhupada has given wonderful purport. The word bhajate is significant here. Bhajate, that has its root in the verb bhaj, which is used when there is need of service. The English word worship cannot be used in the same sense as bhaj. Worship means to adore or to show respect and honor to the worthy one. But service with love and faith is especially meant for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, means Bhagavan. One can avoid worshipping a respectable man or a demigod, or may be called discourteous, but one cannot avoid serving the Supreme Lord without being thoroughly condemned. Every living entity is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus every living entity is intended to serve the Supreme Lord by his own constitution. Failing to do this, he falls down. The Bhagavatam 11.5.3 confirm this as follow. Sa esham purusham shakshad atma prabhavam Ishwaram na bhajanti avajananti sthanad bhrastaha pattanti adha. Anyone who does not render service and neglect his duty unto the preeminent Lord, who is source of all living entities, will certainly fall down from his constitutional position. In this verse also the word bhajanti is used. Therefore, bhajanti is applicable to the Supreme Lord only, whereas the word worship can be applied to demigods or to any other common living entity. The word avajananti used in this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam is also found in Bhagavad-Gita. Avajananti mam mudha. Only the fool and rascals derive the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. Such fools take it upon themselves to write commentaries on the Bhagavad Gita without an attitude of service to the Lord. Consequently, they cannot properly distinguish between the word bhajanti and the word worship. The culmination of all kind of yoga practices lies in Bhakti Yoga. All other yogas are but means to come to the point of bhakti in Bhakti Yoga. Yoga actually means Bhakti Yoga. All other yogas are progressions towards the destination of Bhakti Yoga. From the beginning of Karma Yoga to the end of Bhakti Yoga is the long way to self-realizations. Karma Yoga without fruitive results is the beginning of this path. When Karma Yoga increases in knowledge and renunciation, the stage is called Jnana Yoga. When Jnana Yoga increases in meditation on the super soul by different physical form and the mind is on him, it is called Ashtanga Yoga. And when one surpasses the Ashtanga Yoga and come to the point of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, it is called Bhakti Yoga. Sorry, I missed where I was.
Sorry, when one surpasses Ashtanga on the top and comes to the point of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
It is called Bhakti Yoga, the culmination. Factually, Bhakti Yoga is the ultimate goal, but to analyze Bhakti Yoga minutely, one has to understand these other yogas. The yogi who is progressively is there, progressive in is therefore on the true path of eternal good fortune, one who sticks to a particular point and does not make further progress is called by the particular name Karma Yoga, Yogi, Jnana Yogi, or Dhyana Yogi, Raj Yogi, Hatha Yogi, etc. If one is fortunate enough to come to the point of Bhakti Yoga, it is to be understood that he has surpassed all other yogas. Therefore, to become Krishna consciousness is the highest stage of yoga. Just as when we speak of Himalayan, we refer to the world's highest mountains, of which the highest peak, Mountain Everest, is considered to be the culmination. It is by great fortune that one comes to Krishna consciousness on the path of Bhakti Yoga to become well situated according to the Vedic directions. The ideal yogi concentrates his attention on Krishna, who is called Shyama Sundar, who is as beautifully colored as cloud, whose lotus-like face is as effulgent as the sun, whose dress is brilliant with jewels, and whose body is flower garlanded, illuminating all sides. Is his gorgeous luster, which is called the Brahma Jyoti. He incarnates in different forms such as Ram, Nrsimha, Vara, and Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he descends like a human being as the son of Mother Yasoda, and he is known as Krishna, Govinda, and Vasudev. He is the perfect child, husband, friend, and master, and he is full with all opulences and transcendental qualities. If one remains fully conscious of these features of the Lord, he is called the highest yogi. This stage of highest perfection in yoga can be attained only by Bhakti Yoga, as is confirmed in all Vedic literature. Yasya deve para bhakti yatha deve tatha guru tasyaitat kathita hi artha. prakashante mahatmanah. Only unto those great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master are all the imports of Vedic knowledge automatically revealed. Svetaswar Upanishad 6.23. Bhaktir asya bhajanam tad iha mutropadi ne rasyena musmin manah kalpa nam etad eva neskarmyam. Bhakti means devotional service to the Lord, which is free from desire and material profit, either in this life or in the next. Devoid of such inclinations, one should fully absorb the mind in the Supreme. That is the purpose of Neskarmya. Gopala Tapani Upanishad 1.15. These are some of the means of performance of bhakti or Krishna consciousness, the highest perfectional stage of yoga system. Thus, in the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 6th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad-Gita in the matter of Dhyana Yoga. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Srilampa Swami Niti Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschatya Desakarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I am begging mercy from all of you and also Ashirvad. So please give your mercy and Ashirvad so that I can speak few words. By the mercy of Guru and Krishna and Vaishnava and all of you. So, I hope it is granted. So we are the last verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavad-Gita, Dhyana Yoga sections. And we are at the last section of the Dhyana Yoga. I think this chapter is divided into the 5 or 6 sections, and in that we are at the last. Who is the best yogi? So yogi is better than other who endeavor perfections, ascetic, imprecise, fruity worker. So in the previous verse that has been described in the purport, yoga is defined as the linking our consciousness to the supreme absolute truth, and yoga in different method has been adopted. It has been discussed here also. So if linking process is predominantly fruitive acts, that is called karma yoga, and if that is linking predominantly called Jnana Yoga, and then linking process is predominantly devotional, then it is called Bhakti Yoga. So Bhakti Yoga is the ultimate perfections of yoga. That's what Srila Prabhupada he has mentioned in the purport. So if you can look at that, ascetic without self-knowledge, imperfect. Empiric knowledge without surrender, imperfect. Karma Yoga without Krishna consciousness, waste of time. That has been described in the previous. And how to link that section is progressive run of the yoga ladders and clearly glorifying the yogi above the karmis and jnanis and tapasvi. But Krishna now gives the final statement about the yogi of the highest caliber. Highest caliber. And if we can read the translation, and all yogis, the one with great faith who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself and renders transcendental loving service to me, he is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion. And Lord Krishna, he says in chapter 18, 65, and also same thing he says at the end of the 9th chapter, most confidential knowledge. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. So same thing here, the yogi does that way only. And there also it has been mentioned that Mam evashyasi yuktave tvam atmanam matparayana. So he is fully devoted to the Lord. Matparayana means devoted to me. And atmana means that soul, the person devotee. So engage your mind always in thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me and worship to me, and being completely absorbed in me. That's what Krishna is saying. That is the topmost yogi in 6.47. That's what my understanding is, the conclusion. Krishna is concluding this. He's saying in chapter 9 in different way. Here he is saying from yoga point of view. And if we look the theme of this verse, so even better than yogi is the devotee who worship me, who worship the Krishna in different way. And topmost yogi is the Bhakti Yogi, because he has great faith in Krishna, Shraddhavan. And then he takes shelter in him. Taking shelter means surrendering to him. Always abides in me. That is the meaning. And then he thinks of me, always thinks of me within himself. And then he renders loving service to the Lord. That is the theme. And then learning topic is from the purport Sri Prabhupada he has given bhajante. Bhajate. Bhajate, he is saying it has the root is the verb bhaja, which is used when there is a need of service. And Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishnera Nityadas. So our constitutional position is to serve to the Lord. So there is a need of the service, loving service. And the word worship does not convey the same meaning, bhajan. And what is the difference between worship and service? Worship means to adore or to show respect and honor to the worthy one. But service with love and faith is especially meant for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, means Bhagavan. Service to the Bhagavan cannot be avoided by living entities because it is our constitutional position. So one can avoid worship of a respectful person or demigod, and but one cannot avoid service to the Supreme Lord Bhagavan without being thoroughly condemned, because every living entity is the part and parcel of the Bhagavan, Supreme or Paramatma. And our means Jiva's constitutional position is to serve to the Supreme. Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishnera Nityadas. And then Sri Prabhupada is giving the example from the Bhagavatam. By neglect of the service and duty unto the Supreme Lord, one falls down from his constitution, means he will go from repeated cycle of the birth, death, old age and disease, whatever is there. Because he is thinking to become the master, and then going from one planet to different planet, one yoni to different yonis. In this verse, bhajanti is only applicable to Supreme Personality of Godhead, and worship is applied to the demigods or to the living entities also. But importance of the word avajananti, only fools and rascals derives the Supreme Personality of Godhead and try to comment on Bhagavad-Gita without an attitude of service. So service attitude is required because those people, fools and rascals in Sri Prabhupada's word, not my word, that means because they goes without the knowledge or understanding and having the proper source of the knowledge. Just they want to give the commentary, and that's why they are giving their own mental speculation. They can use the Bhajapur as a worship. But they cannot differentiate properly between the bhajanti and worship. And there are different yoga ladders, and then karma yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga, etc. And then you can see the bhakti yoga. So different steps of yoga ladder is there, as we discussed, and they are progressing towards the bhakti yoga destination. If they are not progressing, then that person is called karma yogi, jnana yogi, like that, different. But if they are progressing, then finally it will lead to the bhakti yoga. And the goal of the bhakti yoga is bhakti yoga. And goal of Bhaktiyoga is to worship the Krishna with the love. And there is no other desires are there. Anya bhilasita sunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulena krishnanusilam. Then it comes to true Suddha Bhakti. And selfish interest is there in other one. And process related to the material desires. But here in Bhakti Yoga, selfless and then free from the material desires. Anya bhilasita sunyam jnana karmadi anavritam. So there is no other material desires. And then it may fail to achieve to the success other yoga. But Bhakti Yoga, it is guaranteed. And Krishna is giving, if someone is failed or unable to do, then also he will get his reward. To start from there, where he has stopped. So, when Karma Yoga increases in knowledge and renunciation, that is called the Jnana Yoga. And when Jnana Yoga increases in meditation, means Dhyana Yoga, then it is called Ashtanga Yoga. When Ashtanga Yoga comes to the point of realizing Krishna, means Bhagavan, Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is Bhakti Yoga. And Srila Prabhupada, he has given the analogy of the mountain. Himalaya mountain, and there is a topmost peak, is the highest peak, is Everest. So he has given the example. And still Baladev Vidyabhusan, he has also given the wonderful commentary. And he is giving commentary on the word of the Krishna. So although there is a relative grading of superiority and inferiority among the tapasvis, and so on, still they are all inferior to my devotee. Means he is giving commentary from the Krishna's point of view. And then in the same way as all ordinary mountains, both tall ones and short ones are inferior to the mountain made of the gold. So he's comparing with the other mountain and mountain made with the gold. He continued, but is there anyone greater than the yogi? And then this question is answered in the word beginning, Yoginam. In the ascending hierarchy of yoga, there are many karma yogis. Better than all of them is the one who has risen to the level of dhyana. He is properly engaged, means yukta. But one who has ascended to samadhi is even better engaged in yuktatara. Mataji, can you off these things? Verse. But one who has ascended to samadhi is even better than yuktatara, and one who has achieved bhakti yoga in the form of hearing, chanting, and so on is the best. Yuktatama. So Yuktatama, Lord Krishna is using the word Mata. That is my opinion. So by hearing the Shastra, he learns to act in full faith, Shraddhavan. Gradually he progresses to the point where Krishna has entered. His very existence means Antara Atma. Madgateranantar Atmana. And the devotee become Madgat, means always absorbed in my thought, means Krishna's thought. And in Sararth Varshinitika, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he is mentioning that as it is stated in the Bhagavatam, Muktanam api siddhanam Narayana Parayana Sudulabha Prasannatmana Kotiswa api Mahamuni, giving from the Srimad Bhagavatam 6.14.5. O great says, among many millions who are liberated and perfect in knowledge of liberation, one may be devotee of Lord Narayan or Krishna. Such devotees who are fully peaceful are extremely rare because their thought is fully absorbed in Krishna. That's why they are very peaceful. This verse is concise statement of bhakti, which will be defined in the middle six chapters in the thread-like ornaments on the neck of the devotees. The first chapter introduced the dialogue in the Gita. The second, third, and fourth chapter deals with the Niskama Karma. The fifth deals with the Jnana, and sixth with Ashtanga Yoga. But the main topic of the first six chapter is Karma Yoga. That's what Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has given the commentary. And today is very auspicious day, Ramananda, Sri Ramananda Raya's disappearance day. And we are discussing about the topic of the Bhakti Yoga. So Ramananda Raya was the very intimate associate of Lord Chaitanya. He has the 3.5 intimate associates. So one is Ramananda Raya. So Ramananda Raya was, I think he was the governor of the Maharaja Prataparudra, and he was in the Madras presidency area. And when Lord Chaitanya, he was going to the South India trip, and that time Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he requested several times to Lord Chaitanya, please go and meet with Ramananda Raya. By seeing, you will feel like he is a materialistic, but inside he is a great devotee. That's what he was requested. But before starting, any question or comment, Hare Krishna? Are you able to hear me? or I got disconnected?
No, Prabhu, we can hear you.
Okay. So when he requested, and then Lord went to that side after crossing the Godavari, and then he went to other side. Before that he was doing his activities, chanting and dancing. And then he went other side there. He saw that Ramananda Raya, he was coming on the palanquin and with thousands of the others followers, means including Brahmana and others. So when Lord Chaitanya started dancing, and then other people, they got really means amazed. And then he wanted to meet with Ramananda Raya, but somehow he was able to hold himself. And then Ramananda Raya, he took bath and then offered the homage to his forefathers and others, and then to the Lord. And then after that he came by seeing the Lord Chaitanya's effulgent face, and then he offered the prostrate obeisances to Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya embraced him. And then they were discussing, and then he asked, "You are the Ramananda Raya?" Then he tell, "Yes, I am your very low servant, and I belong to the Sudra community." And Lord Chaitanya, he embraced him very firmly, and it was like a master and then servant, and they lost their consciousness meeting after a long time, developed the aesthetic symptoms like a paralysis and perspiration, tears, shivering, palpitations, and balance. Those are the symptoms of the ecstatic symptoms. And after that, when it was like seeing all those ritualistic brahmanas, they thought, what kind of sannyasi is that person, even though he is amazed and everybody is chanting and dancing, and then he's seeing how it is possible. Then Lord Chaitanya, somehow he was able to see it, and then after that he reduced his bhava, and then Ramananda Roy, he was the governor of the Madras and highly learned person. In other words, he was a Mahapandita. But upon touching this sannyasi, he was becoming restless like a madman. Those brahmanas thinking that way. And then while brahmanas were thinking, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he saw. And then after that, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to smile, and he speaks as follows, that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya has spoken to me about your good transcendental quality, in other words, that has been described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila. And he has made a great endeavor to convince me to meet you. Indeed, has come here just to meet you. It is very good that even without making an effort, I have gotten your interview here. So Ramananda replied, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is my best well-wisher, and I am his servant, and that's why he takes care of the good care. Even in my absence, he has requested you to give your mercy. So that way they had the great exchange. And then he's saying that you are the Narayana. Even though I came here, I belong to the Sudra class of the family, but you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and your purpose is completely different. By your mercy, you are touching me, although this is not sanctioned in the Vedas. You have come here especially to deliver me. You are so merciful that you alone can deliver all fallen soul. It is the general practice of the saintly person to deliver the fallen. Karunika. If we look the symptoms of the sadhu, then they are karunika, compassionate to the others. So that quality is describing. And then I have no business, personal business. You have, although they don't have any personal business. And then he is saying, including the Brahmana, you see that by your quality they started chanting, and you can see that their bodily symptoms, although she was glorifying to the Lord. And then Lord replies to the Ramananda Raya that, sir, you are the best topmost devotee. Therefore, upon seeing you, everyone's heart has melted. So they are glorifying and giving credit to each other. Although I am Mayavadi sannyasi, a non-devotee, I am floating in the ocean of love of Krishna simply by touching you. And then finally, I am following the order of the Sarvama Bhattacharya. Is saying, one Vaishnava Brahmin came forward at this time and invited the Lord to accept his midday meal at his house. And then after that, they separated. He left, and then Ramananda Raya, he was the son of the Bhavananda Raya. Has been mentioned, Bhavananda Raya. He was the Pandu in previous life, Maharaj Pandu, and he had the 5 Pandavas, including Ramananda Raya. Bhavananda Raya dedicated all his sons to the Lord Chaitanya, including Ramananda Raya, Gopinath, Kalanidhi, Sudhanidhi, and Baninath. Baninath had some problem, I think, with the Maharaj Pratap Rudra, his son, had the problem. So his wife was Kunti Devi in his previous life. And then afternoon, Mahaprabhu, he finishes bath, taking bath in the Godavari. He was sitting there and waiting Ramananda Raya, his companion. And then after that, one servant and Ramananda Raya, he came and they had the discussion. So let me read the discussion, how that happens. I think discussion happened in the next day. Though Mahaprabhu assented that the rendering of pure on the subject of the supreme goal of life. Ramananda Rai, accompanied by one servant, arrived there. He fell down to offer his obeisances at the Lord's lotus feet. Mahaprabhu pulled him up, and after embracing him very firmly, seated Ramanand next to himself in the secluded place. Then the two of them, in the madness of ecstatic love, begin to converse together on the topic of Sri Krishna. Mahaprabhu asked questions to which Ramananda was to supply the answer. बोलिए श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ जी की जय। श्री श्री गोविंद। On the subject of the supreme goal of life, Ramananda first proposed a observance of the four order of social and spiritual life, means varnasrama dharma, and executing one's duty in accordance with these. And then after that, next one after another, he mentioned renouncing the fruits of one's activities, rendering formal service to the Lord, serving the Lord in devotion mixed with knowledge, and finally pure devotional service. So going higher and higher. The Mahaprabhu assented that the rendering of pure devotional service is the entrance into the ultimate goal of life. That's what Lord Krishna he has mentioned there. That is my opinion. Yuktatama. So he urged Ramananda Raya to go even beyond this, one after other. Ramananda then described attachment to Krishna in servitorship, friendship, parentalhood, and finally conjugal love. To which Mahaprabhu again replied, kindly proceed further. He wanted to hear further, higher than that. And tell me something more, Ramananda Raya. Then explained that among the gopis who worship Krishna in conjugal love, the mood of Srimati Radharani is super excellent. This Mahaprabhu accepted as being the essence of perfections, that is the perfection. As he still wanted to hear more, Ramananda Raya sang a song of his own composition and nicely conveyed Srimati Radharani's confidential mood known as a Prema Vivarta Vilasa. Hearing this song, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu covered Ramananda Raya's mouth with his hand, confirming that he had expressed the limit of the goal, means sadhya, of human life, which could only be realized by the practice of devotional service, sadhana, means sadhya can achieved by the sadhana. Then Ramananda Raya explained that Srimati Radharani is the creeper of love for Krishna, and her Sakhis are like the twigs, flowers, and leaves of the creeper of devotion. Sri Krishna is the reservoir of pleasure, and Radharani is the greatest manifestation of ecstatic emotions. So finally, Lord Chaitanya and Ramananda Raya embraced, crying in ecstasy of Krishna Prema. Towards the end of the night, they concluded their talk and each went to take rest. So that was first, and then second, next day evening, Ramananda Raya again came to Mahaprabhu's lotus feet and he offered his prostrate obeisances. And Mahaprabhu further he embraced him, and then after sitting him began to again ask the question. That question is also amazing. So let me read. I hope if I'm going few minutes over, so please forgive me. What is the best education? Devotion to Krishna, answered by Ramananda. Best education, devotion to Krishna. What is the greatest activities for living entities, for the jiva? To be the servant of Krishna. What is the supreme wealth? Love of Radha and Krishna. What is the greatest unhappiness? To not have the association of devotees of Krishna. Means if there is no devotee, then there is no sadhu sangha. So we are thankful to the Gita Mala Mataji for this sadhu sangha. What is the high liberations? The best jewel of all kind of liberation is to develop love for Krishna. That's why it is mentioned that moksha laghutakrit means there are 6 characteristics of the devotional service. One is moksha laghutakrit, means it compared to the bhakti, moksha become very small, it become laghu. What is the best song? Song describing the pastime of Radha and Krishna. What is the most auspicious for living entities? The association of devotees of Krishna. What is the only thing we have to remember? Any answer? Krishna's name, qualities, and pastime. What is the only things to meditate upon? Lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. Where is the best place to live? In the place where Krishna has his pastime, means Brajabhumi, in other sense, Vrindavan. What is the best Ardwarikapuri? What is the best things to be heard? Descriptions of the loving pastime of Radha and Krishna. What is the only thing which has to be glorified? The name of Radha and Krishna. What are the destination of those who desire liberation and those who are gross materialistic enjoyers? The first attains bodies as trees and the second demigods. Ramananda Raya continues, those who are devoid of all mellows are like the crows and suck the juice from the bitter fruit of the nimba tree of knowledge. This is amazing. One who are devoid of all mellow are like the crows that sucks the juice from the bitter fruit of the nimba tree of knowledge, whereas those who enjoy mellows are like the cuckoos who eat the buds of the mango trees of love of Godhead. Ramananda Raya concluded, the unfortunate empiric philosophers test the dry process of philosophical knowledge, whereas the devotees regularly drink the nectar of the love of Krishna. Therefore, they are the most fortunate of all. Tushtanti cha ramanti cha. Thereafter, Mahaprabhu revealed his form of Radha and Krishna, seeing which Ramananda Raya felt unconscious. Regaining his senses, he begins to offer hymns and praises in glorification of the Lord. Mahaprabhu requested him to please not reveal any of these historical truths to anyone. When Mahaprabhu was about to take leave of Ramananda Raya, he gave him the following instructions. Give up all material engagements and come to Jagannath Puri. I will return there very soon after finishing my tour and pilgrimage. The two of us shall remain together at Jagannath Puri and happily pass our time discussing Krishna. So when Mahaprabhu returned to the Puri, Ramananda Raya had gotten the permission of Maharaj Prataprudra to leave his post and reside in Sri Kshetra, Jagannath Puri. He had become a close friend of Sri Swarupa Damodar. So Swarupa Damodar, he was singer and Ramananda Roy was composer. That's what I'm guessing. They had very good time also. Ramananda Roy would compose drama and then would have them acted out for the pleasure of the Lord Jagannath by young girls. Mahaprabhu stated that the minds of great yogis can become disturbed simply by seeing a female doll. But the mind of Raya Ramananda doesn't slightly waver. Even he personally bathed and decorated the bodies of young dancing girls. Ramananda Roy, he used to, in a service most for the pleasure of Lord Jagannath, he used to decorate them personally, even bathe them. But he did not have any kind of desire. Only he had desire to serve and please to the Jagannath. How Lord Jagannath will enjoy by those if they are decorated nicely and dancing nicely. That kind of thought he had, not other than anything. So Ramananda Roy and Swarupa Damodar were the constant companion of Mahaprabhu during his final pastime. And when the Lord acutely felt pangs of separation from Krishna, only Sri Ramananda Roy talk about Krishna, and the sweet song of Swarupa Damodar kept him alive. Chaitanya Charitamrita Antelila 6.6 it has been mentioned. Hearing that Mahaprabhu had closed his earthly pastime, Maharaj Prataprudra threw himself on the ground and lost consciousness. His head suffering heavily bowed with the earth, while Ramananda Rai was only just barely able to remain alive. So Ramananda Rai's house is still existing at Jagannath Vallabh Udyan on the Grand Road, Puri. So he was resident in Puri. And the conclusion of the verse is, by hearing the great devotee, of all the yogis, the one with great faith who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself and renders transcendental loving service to me. He is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion. So by hearing Ramananda Raya's pastime, we can correlate this verse that everything is suitable for him. Beyond that also. So I will stop here. Sorry about the extra time.
Very nice. Thank you, Prabhu. Just want to make a comment that Ramananda Rai was Arjuna, right? As
Yes,
of the
yes.
Pandavas. And I don't know, it says that in some places he's known as also Lalita and Vishaka or something like that.
Yeah, so maybe combination of all.
Combination, yeah. And also he spoke the intimate pastimes of Radharani to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they were very intimately connected. Yeah.
Correct. Because I think he was describing maybe Radharani's Mahabhava. That could be the
Right. And there was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstasy was increasing more and more. And
correct.
they were like so intimate that they just did not want to leave each other's company. Yeah.
I think three personality have the Mahabhava: Srimati Radharani, Lord Chaitanya, and I think third person is Madhavendra Puri.
Mhm.
So if someone is describing about the Radharani's Mahabhava quality, and then definitely it will be really pleasing to the Lord Chaitanya. That's why he has given him the
Right.
darshan.
That was one of the reasons he came to experience
Yes.
Radharani's ecstasy.
Thank you, Mataji.
So today is his disappearance day, right?
Correct.
Ramananda, yeah.
Correct.
Very nice. We should meditate on all the pastimes of Ramananda Raya and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So I don't know if there are any questions. If there is nothing, I guess we can stop.
So we can stop here now.
Yeah, if anyone has a quick question. Does anyone have any questions?
Or maybe it went to the sleep mode because of too much sleeping, too much speaking.
No. It's always nice to speak about, especially exalted devotees like Ramananda Raya. But it doesn't seem like there are any questions. We can stop here, Prabhu.
Okay, Mataji. So Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha
Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripasindhubhya eva cha,